Crawford, let's go ahead and fight Spence.
We got everybody up in
got
here.
a list.
We got everybody up in here.
It's time to fight.
If they fight, just one shot, and that chin ain't looking very strong on Rolly. Fight fans, what's going on, everybody? This is CBA Talk, episode 7. I am Kris Johnson.
I am Cedric Johnson, known as Coach Ced.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Let's go ahead and just get straight into it then.
Straight into it. Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford.
Okay, that fight was what? Saturday,
December 10th.
December 10th. Hey.
He knocked him out.
He knocked him out 6 rounds.
Like I predicted. I told everybody before the fight even happened, I was like, Terence Crawford is either going to knock this dude out in 4, 5, or 6. And what happened? Terence Crawford knocked him out in round 6.
Okay, guy was who? David, whatever. Big deal, who cares? Crawford, let's go ahead and fight Spence. I'm tired of it, and I'm ready for it. I think it's going to happen.
Not going to happen. Fight's not going to happen.
2023.
Nope, not going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying it right now, and I want you to quote me on this. The fight is not going to happen. I don't care what nobody says. Fight's not going to happen. Fight should have happened this year.
Okay, check this out, man. Papers was, I think they said, BLK Promotions, the fight they had, it was about 14,630 people in there, man. So
14,000. Would have been way more if you fought Earl Spence.
You're right. But hey, that's a nice amount of people to come out for a promotion, and Crawford got some fans. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He was excited to see this guy. I mean, who cares on who he fought? I didn't care. Now, since he got that out of his bag or whatever, now I don't know, man. It's scary.
I don't know what's next for Terence.
I guess we still gonna talk about him and Spence, man. I know I am.
I'm done talking
I know
about
you probably tired of it.
I'm tired of it, man. Fight should have happened.
It's gonna happen. I think Spence wanted to happen too. Spence, man, every question he get, they ask him that, and I know they used to it. But I think it's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen at all. Let's be honest here, folks. This fight has been planned for the past 3 years, and the fight still has not happened.
And we've been talking about it ever since we've been doing this broadcast.
Yeah, we've been talking. The first episode was about Terence Crawford and Earl Spence.
Oh, man.
Fight didn't happen.
Okay, so he laid this guy out. So what did he prove?
I mean, that he can knock a dream man out.
Okay.
Terence Crawford, this opponent was not worthy. I know what Terence Crawford was doing.
Right.
Let's be honest here. This was like an experiment. Okay. I feel like this. I
think he was hungry because he haven't fought, and whatever deal he said with negotiating didn't happen. So, and like a lot of these fighters, is hungry to get back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fighters ain't been fighting. I mean, like they want to fight. Tank, he's hungry to fight again, and hopefully after this fight that's coming up is this year, right? For Tank.
Oh no, it's January of next year.
Okay, January next year. And when he get it out of his blood, and hope he meet Garcia, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, right.
So hopefully that happens.
Yeah, hopefully.
So a lot of these guys is hungry. I understand until negotiation it didn't happen with him and Spence. So you find another kid to fight under a promotion that we talked about. Promotion we talked about. So, it is what it is, and we're going to move on.
I want to say my thoughts on it. What I feel like what Terence Crawford was trying to do is I feel like he was trying to do what Floyd did, trying to promote himself.
Which is fine.
It's completely fine, but I felt like this was an experiment. And what I mean by experiment is I think Terence Crawford was like, let's see how much money and how many people I can get out by trying to
from him being away from Bob Aaron from Top Ranks.
He wanted to see
what can I do with the type of crowd since Bob Aaron said that I need to promote myself more. I can't sell myself to the people. Bob Aaron. So I think Crawford was more as in said, okay, let me see, and you're right. Let me see what I can do without Bob Aaron, without Top Ranks.
That's what I'm saying.
To see what type of people I could bring in. And he brought in a little over 14,000 people, man.
Good. I mean, it's Terence Crawford. What? He's 39
and not. This is not considering the pay-per-view viewers.
Yeah.
The numbers on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That takes time to get in. I don't know nothing about the numbers. So if anybody knows something about the direct numbers on the pay-per-view, leave them at the comments and hopefully we can see what all the numbers, if they done counting all the numbers, and see what this fight really turned out to be that he put together with BLK Prime Promotions.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like Terence Crawford was doing, which is smart because, of course, at first when I heard that Spence and Crawford weren't fighting, I was frustrated, confused. I was like,
a lot of fight fans was.
And this thought always goes through your head when a fight doesn't happen. He's scared. But that's always the first thought. I don't think Terence is scared. I feel like that's not a word that I feel like that's a strong word. Scared. That's a strong word. So I wouldn't say Terence was scared. When I started to actually think about it, I sat there, I said, actually, I think he's trying to promote himself. I think he's trying to see what numbers he can do by promoting himself. And he's like kind of like an experiment, like I said before. I feel like he's trying to promote himself and see how many numbers he can get by just bringing himself out.
You're right.
And which is smart. And I felt like it was successful. Congratulations, Terence Crawford. I want to, I like what you're doing because it's smart.
Yeah.
He's trying to do what Floyd did,
yeah.
which Floyd was smart.
Speaking of Floyd, okay, Crawford is now at 39-0.
11 fights away from Floyd's record.
So what is he trying to do?
I don't know
Is he trying to dominate? Is he trying to beat Floyd's record?
That's an accomplishment. I'll tell you that. If he does
He's 39-0, man.
Hey, he might be able to. I mean, if he wants to. I don't know if that's his goal because he is the closest one that I can think of to Floyd's record, 50-0. And Terence Crawford is 39-0.
Yeah.
And if he wins another fight, he's gonna be 40-0, and that's only 10 fights. So that could be a goal of yours, Terence Crawford. I'm not mad at you if you want to beat Floyd's record. I'm not mad at you.
Okay.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But I see what Terence is trying to do. At least that's what it looks like. I see what Terence is trying to do. With BLK Prime, I feel like after this fight, he looked at the numbers. He was like, okay, all right, let's do another show. Because I know that BLK Prime signed other fighters and all that, so I think they're gonna do some more shows with those other fighters.
Pretty sure.
And they're gonna try to build the promotion company up.
Right, exactly.
Which I'm guessing is the idea of BLK Prime and all that. So
yeah,
that's what I feel.
So I'm
like.
excited to see who they take under and who come out the gate, and then we'll talk more on that.
Yeah. Now, everybody, it's time for us to talk about the fight that I've been wanting to talk about. Now, this fight happened on Saturday, December 17th. It was my boy Frank Martin versus Michel Rivera.
Congratulations, my man.
Hey.
Known from what? Indianapolis.
Well, he was actually born in Detroit and then moved over here.
Over here? Good friend of mine, too.
Hey, I'm still considered one of our boys, Frank. You still one of our boys, Frank.
No doubt.
Make us proud down here.
No doubt, champ.
Make us proud down here in Naptown, Frank. Come on, man. You're from Detroit, but you actually from here, man. Just go ahead and say you from here, man. Come on now. You represent it, man. Hey, Frank Martin had an amazing performance Saturday night. He won by unanimous decision against which was a worthy opponent.
Yes, he was, man. This guy was undefeated.
Yeah, he was undefeated. I think he was what, 24-0? Either 23 or 24-0. Don't quote me if I got it wrong, but either 23
he was 24-0.
24, I was right. Well, now he's 24-1.
24-1.
24-1 now. Someone's had to go, and it wasn't Frank's. I'm
gonna tell you, it was exciting to see Frank Martin, the Ghost, do his thing, man. I'm proud of him, man. I'm glad he had the opportunity to get on that big stage of Showtime, main event, and perform. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I remember like you was a little younger, but as Frank started climbing the ladder, you started getting real involved in Frank and was coming to me, and he's pretty much one of your boxing, prodigies, man. So how do you feel he did in his performance, man? I mean,
Frank outclassed this boy. He made like if because obviously if you look at their records, it's you would think that because what Frank was at the time 60, he was 16-0, and he was going against a dude that was 24-0. See, if I never knew these guys' records and I just walked in and I saw you watching the fight, and I saw this dude beating this other guy up, I would have been like,
man.
Okay, so Frank Martin dude's 24-0, right? And you're like, no, he's 16-0. So I'm like,
yes.
Really? Frank Martin.
Southpaw.
Frank Martin, I think that's one of the things that Rivera was struggling with.
Right. Yes, he was.
I wanted to mention that. I think Frank being southpaw is what made Rivera struggle a lot in this
He didn't
fight.
know what to do with it.
He didn't know what to do. I can say this.
He relied on that 1-2 a lot.
Yeah.
But Frank had that down.
Yeah.
Where he knew how to move away from it and draw back from it.
Frank was
and
getting
still
caught.
count.
Frank was getting caught by that a couple of times, but later on in the fight, it was all Frank.
Yeah.
I felt like he won every round.
Yeah.
The first early rounds, and I predicted this. I said the first early rounds, of course, Rivera. But actually, surprisingly, Rivera didn't box the way I thought he was going to box because I studied this.
He did some moving, but from the videos that I seen that you showed me, I don't think he did a lot of the things he did in his other fights.
Yeah, like he didn't move as like, because usually people say that he fight like Ali, and usually I would think, I mean, he even had Ali on his trunks.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So I would think that he would fight like Ali. He would move, use that jab, and move around. He barely did any of that in this fight. It looked like he was trying to pressure Frank, which surprised me.
Yeah, and for Frank to be so strong, that was a dangerous thing to do.
That was very stupid. I don't know why he did that. Frank was strong. He was catching him.
In shape, body looked good.
Yeah.
Best I ever seen him. Outstanding camp.
Rolling there.
Doing an outstanding job. I mean, thumbs up, man. I mean, what can I say, man? I mean, I'm looking for him to do some big things. So this fight was pretty much
this is a WBA title eliminator.
Okay.
So this is for, I think, Devin Haney's WBA.
That's what they said.
Which I like to say, I'm gonna get into this later about Frank and everybody else in the lightweight, because Frank's in the lightweight. And we've mentioned the lightweight division before. We got Tank, Ryan Garcia, Shakur.
Got them all. Yes. Get excited, man.
So this is a stacked division, Frank. So for Frank, and plus the Rivera was he was a number 2 contender.
Yes, he was.
So and Frank was at number 10. So I bet he's skyrocketed.
I think BoxRec got him at 3.
Really?
Rank 3. Yeah.
Frank Martin, he outclassed his boy. I think one thing that helped Frank in this fight was his speed and his boxing IQ.
Yes.
Because he counted him a lot in this fight.
Very good boxer. He was a dominating boxer in amateur.
It started in the second round where Frank started to catch him a lot. He started to counter him and all that. But one thing that I would say to Frank in this fight, because now I'm not saying that he was perfect.
Right, exactly.
This fight. Even if Frank mentioned it in the post-fight interview, Frank had a lot of opportunities to finish him.
And I wish he could have finished him.
Which he didn't.
He had the opportunity.
He had a ton of opportunities to finish him, but he just didn't take them. And I think I watched an interview saying that he was trying to be patient, but he was a little too patient.
Right, exactly. And he acknowledged that in his interview.
Which I'm glad he did.
Because he's seen it.
I'm glad he acknowledged it, especially during the interview, because now I feel like that's one thing that he's going to work on is not being too patient.
Especially in the weight class that he's fighting in.
Yes.
Because it's true champions in that class.
If you're too patient, then you might not get that opportunity again to knock that opponent out. So let's say if he caught Rivera on the ropes and that was his opportunity to go and start
and take him out.
But let's say he didn't do that and Rivera starts coming back.
Right, later round.
Which didn't happen, but I'm just saying, what if that did happen? I'm just saying for Frank to work on that next time. Don't be too patient in the fight, especially in the division that you're in. Don't be too patient, because if you are, you might not get that opportunity again. That's all I gotta say to you, Frank. So work on that, but he dominated this boy.
Yep, that's my man. Good fighter, man.
Really.
I'm interested to see who's next. It was a few names called out.
Yes.
And of course, every fighter that's battling up top, man, that's in that weight class, that's coming with that hunger.
Yeah.
Man, I'll call out anybody. I'll call them all out, man.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because I think you deserve the opportunity to take those guys and be a world champion.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm excited to see who next.
Hey, I did hear a couple names. I heard, I know you don't like me mentioning that, but we got Rolly Romero.
I want that fight to happen. And I know Frank do too. Do him in, baby.
Rolly Romero, I heard, obviously Tank. Everyone's calling out Tank.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone's calling out Tank. Who else did I hear? I heard Keyshawn Davis. I heard a little bit of him too. But I don't know about Keyshawn because he's still young in his career. He's only 7-0. Still young in his career and all that. But one fight that I'm very intrigued is the Rolly fight. Now, Frank versus Rolly. I got Frank on this one. I don't know about you. I got Frank. I don't know
I think Frank could take him.
I think Frank could take him too. One thing that Frank would need to watch out for is those wild shots.
And he's pretty wild. And
Very wild.
Did they spar at one time?
Yeah, they sparred one time when you could tell that Rolly was throwing. I mean, he's a wild fighter. He's a wild fighter. You saw what he did against. I'm gonna be honest. Rolly did do a pretty good job in the beginning of the fight when he went against Tank because he was throwing. He caught him a little bit. He caught him a little bit, but. It's just one shot, Frank, really. I mean, you saw what Tank did to him. Now, imagine what you could do to him. All it takes is one shot, and that chin ain't looking very strong on Rolly. You can clip him and night, sleep.
Man, and I'm excited to be talking about Frank Martin. I mean, I know you're a fan of Frank.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
And I couldn't wait for this opportunity as we started CBA Talk for you to mention this guy because I knew he was on the up and rise and coming up to act the fool. And I told you a lot about this young man.
Yeah, you would talk about him a lot, and I would be Frank Martin. I remember one time we were out of town one time, and you mentioned one of his fights. You said, I was like, hey, Dad, who's fighting? You said Frank Martin. I was like, who's Frank Martin?
Yes.
Like,
And I laid him on him, man, about this young man. So boxing, watch out. And I think Indianapolis, Indiana got a surprise world champion.
Yeah, I think.
And I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait for Frank Martin too. I think he is going to become a world champion. He's definitely going to become a world champion. There's some fighters.
He with a good, strong camp.
Yeah,
he with good people, good, strong
Earl's
camp.
Man. He's with Earl's camp. Earl's camp don't
So
play.
look out for that name. Comment at the bottom for anything. Y'all got to reply on our broadcast about this up and coming star.
Yeah.
And we'll see where he goes from there.
Well, that's all I really have to say on this episode, Dad. I don't know about you.
This is it, man. I'm ready for the fights. I'm ready for the line them up. I'm ready for 2023, and I hope all of them fight against everybody. It's time to fight.
If they fight.
They better fight.
The only fight I'm hearing is Tank and Garcia.
Until
Ryan
they fight.
Garcia, not the other Garcia, the Ryan Garcia. I don't know why he's fighting it. I ain't gonna get into it. I'm gonna wait.
We'll talk about that.
We're gonna talk about it soon. I am Kris Johnson.
I am Cedric Johnson, known as Coach Ced.
We'll be releasing new videos weekly on boxing news, upcoming fights, and upcoming fighters for y'all to see.
And we out.